My sister dosed my drink at my $80K wedding, so I let her toast in front of 300 witnesses. Was I wrong for what I did? Honestly, I still replay that day in my head, wondering if I went too far, but then I remember her smug face, the way she tried to ruin the most important day of my life, and I think, no, I did exactly what she deserved. Tell me, would you have done the same thing if your own sister, your flesh and blood, tried to sabotage your wedding with a little help from a Schedule Roman IV controlled substance? It all started innocently enough, or so I thought. My sister, Clara, and I have always had a complicated relationship. Growing up, she was the golden child, effortlessly beautiful, charming, and the kind of person who could talk her way out of anything. I, on the other hand, was the quiet, studious one, always in her shadow. I never resented her success, not truly, but there was always this undercurrent of competition, especially when it came to men. She always seemed to snag the guys I was interested in, not because she liked them, but because she could. It was a pattern that had been repeating since high school, a subtle power play that left me feeling constantly inferior. When I met Mark, my now husband, I thought things would finally change. Mark was everything I ever wanted: kind, intelligent, hilarious, and he saw me, not just Clara's sister. He proposed on a beautiful autumn day, and I was ecstatic. Our wedding was going to be everything I'd dreamed of: a lavish affair at a beautiful vineyard, an open bar, a gourmet meal, a live band, and 300 of our closest friends and family. We spared no expense. It was an $80,000 celebration of our love, a testament to the future we were building. Clara, of course, was my maid of honor. I felt obligated. Despite our past, she was still my sister, and I wanted her to be a part of it. I genuinely believed that this occasion, this new chapter in my life, would finally put an end to our childish rivalry. I was wrong. The planning process was stressful, as most weddings are, but Clara was surprisingly helpful at first. She came to dress fittings, offered advice on flowers, and even helped me pick out the invitations. There were moments when I actually thought, maybe we're finally growing up. Maybe this is our chance to be real sisters. Those moments were fleeting. A few weeks before the wedding, I started noticing little things. My engagement ring, which I always kept on my nightstand, would sometimes be in a different spot. My wedding planning binder, full of meticulous notes and vendor contracts, would be slightly out of order. At first, I dismissed it as my own forgetfulness, chalking it up to wedding stress. Then, a week before the big day, I found a small, unlabeled pill bottle tucked away in Clara's overnight bag when she stayed over. I didn't open it. I didn't want to snoop, but a nagging feeling started to settle in my gut. A few days later, while having coffee with one of my bridesmaids, Sarah, she casually mentioned something Clara had said. Clara was joking about how she was going to make sure you relaxed on your wedding day. Sarah said with a laugh, she said something about taking the edge off your nerves. I told her you didn't need anything for your nerves. You were perfectly calm. My blood ran cold. The pill bottle, Clara's past behavior, Sarah's innocent comment, it all clicked into place. My sister wasn't just planning to take the edge off. She was planning to drug me. I didn't sleep a wink that night. My mind raced, replaying every interaction, every suspicious glance. The thought that my own sister would stoop to such a low level, especially on my wedding day, was unfathomable, yet entirely believable given our history. The next morning, I confronted her. I tried to be calm, to give her a chance to explain. Clara. I started, my voice trembling slightly. Did you say something to Sarah about helping me relax on my wedding day? She just looked at me, her eyes wide and innocent. "Oh, yeah, just a joke. You know how stressed you get. I was just teasing." Her casual dismissal only fueled my suspicion. I pressed her, "Are you planning anything? Anything at all that would make me relax a little too much?" She scoffed. "What are you even talking about? Are you losing your mind? It's your wedding, not some conspiracy theory." Her defensiveness, the way she avoided my gaze, confirmed my worst fears. I didn't have solid proof, but my gut was screaming. I knew, with absolute certainty, that she was planning something malicious. The wedding day arrived, a whirlwind of nervous excitement and underlying dread. As I was getting my hair and makeup done, I discreetly pulled Sarah aside. I told her everything about the pill bottle, about Clara's comment, about my suspicion. Sarah, a fiercely loyal friend, was horrified. "We need to keep an eye on her," she whispered, "every single drink you have, every single moment." And so, a covert operation began. Throughout the day, Sarah and I watched Clara like hawks. She was annoyingly cheerful, flitting around, helping with everything, seemingly the perfect maid of honor. During the cocktail hour, when I went to get a glass of champagne, Clara was right there, handing me a flute. "Here, sis, you deserve this," she said, a little too sweetly. I took the glass, but as she turned away, I subtly switched it with one Sarah had already poured for me. I watched as Clara went back to the bar, and then, a few minutes later, she returned with another glass of champagne. This time, she wasn't looking at me. She was looking at the glass intently, almost as if she was checking something. My heart pounded in my chest. This was it. This was her moment. So that's the situation I was in, standing there with 2 glasses of champagne, my own sister attempting to drug me on my wedding day. I had to make a choice. Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to pause and comment below what you would have done in my shoes. Would you have confronted her publicly? Would you have just ignored it and tried to enjoy your day? What would your revenge be? Seriously, let me know, because what I did next, well, it was something. I didn't confront her immediately. I couldn't, not with 300 guests, all eyes on me, waiting for the ceremony to begin. I just smiled, took the tainted glass from her hand, and set it down on a nearby table, pretending to be distracted by a guest. Sarah caught my eye, a look of grim understanding passing between us. The ceremony itself was beautiful, perfect. Mark and I exchanged vows, tears streaming down our faces, completely oblivious to the venom lurking beneath the surface of my family. As we walked back down the aisle as husband and wife, I felt a surge of love and happiness, but also a growing anger towards Clara. The reception was in full swing, the band playing, guests dancing, laughter filling the air. It was a dream, a fairy tale come to life. And then came the toasts. The best man went first, delivering a hilarious and heartfelt speech that had everyone roaring with laughter. Then it was Clara's turn. My heart began to pound. This was it. This was my moment. As she approached the microphone, a confident smile on her face, I subtly nudged Sarah. "Remember the glass," I whispered. Sarah nodded, already knowing my plan. Clara began her toast, a syrupy, sweet monologue about our sisterly bond, about how proud she was of me, how happy she was for Mark and me. It was all a performance, a carefully crafted lie. My anger simmered, a quiet fire burning within me. Just as she was about to raise her glass, I caught the eye of one of the waiters. I had prepared him earlier, discreetly explaining the situation, asking for his help. He understood immediately. As Clara raised her glass, the waiter, with a practiced smoothness, approached the table where I had set down the tainted champagne. He picked it up, replaced it with a fresh, untainted glass, and then, as if by accident, he tripped. The tainted champagne went flying, spilling all over Clara's pristine white maid of honor dress. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Clara shrieked, her perfectly coiffed hair now dripping with champagne, her dress ruined. Her face, moments ago radiating faux sincerity, contorted into a mask of pure shock and fury. The microphone picked up her gasp, amplifying it throughout the entire reception hall. For a split second, there was stunned silence. Then, a few nervous titters started, followed by full, blown laughter. Mark, bless his heart, looked utterly bewildered, but I gave him a small, almost imperceptible wink. He understood. Clara stood there, drenched and humiliated, the spotlight now on her for all the wrong reasons. The waiter, feigning deep apologies, was profusely dabbing at her dress with a napkin, only making it worse. I walked up to her, a sympathetic look on my face, but with a triumphant glint in my eye. "Oh, Clara, darling, what a terrible accident!" I exclaimed, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Don't worry, we'll get that cleaned right up. But please, finish your toast, everyone's waiting." She stammered, her voice choked with barely suppressed rage. I can't, my dress." I leaned in close, my voice a low, dangerous whisper only she could hear. "You think I didn't know, Clara. You think I wouldn't find out. You tried to drug me on my wedding day. This is just a little champagne. Consider it karma." Her eyes widened in horror, the realization dawning on her that I knew everything. The color drained from her face. She tried to compose herself, to finish the toast, but her voice was shaky, her words barely audible above the whispers and giggles of the guests. She ended her toast abruptly, a pathetic whimper, and practically ran off the stage, disappearing into the back room. The rest of the reception was a blur of dancing, laughter, and celebration. Clara never reappeared. I later heard she called a taxi and went home, leaving her maid of honor duties and her ruined dress behind. My wedding was still perfect, thanks to my amazing husband, my supportive friends, and my own quick thinking. The truth about Clara's intentions never came out publicly, but I made sure a few key people knew, just enough to ensure she wouldn't try anything like that again. The next day, I found a note from her on my kitchen counter. It simply said, "You win." And I did. Looking back, part of me feels a pang of regret. She's my sister, after all. But then I remember the fear, the betrayal, the sheer audacity of her attempt to ruin my most important day. I realize I wouldn't change a thing. It was a lesson she desperately needed, a taste of her own manipulative medicine. It taught me that sometimes you have to stand up for yourself, even against family. This experience solidified my bond with Mark, showing me that he truly is my partner, always on my side. It also showed me who my true friends are, especially Sarah, who was my rock throughout the entire ordeal. Family can be complicated, messy, and sometimes even toxic. You have to protect your peace, your happiness, and your wedding day. Like this video if you were on my side. Subscribe for more stories like this, and please, share your final thoughts on this whole mess in the comments section. I'll see you all in the next story.